Hey guys, welcome back to the Real Play Podcast. It's Ebony.
And this is Sierra.
And if you can hear us right now and you're not looking at us, we actually switched over to video. So you can actually go and watch this on YouTube. But if you prefer not watching, it's fine. It's fine. You can just listen. And so welcome back, Sierra. It's been a while.
It has been a while. We didn't expect for it to last, our break to last this long. We have tried to engage with you guys through social media, but it feels really good to pick up the mic and be back, like for real, talking to you. You guys are going to listen to us, and then you're going to send us the messages and all the comments. So we're happy to be back.
Yes, it's strange. Let's talk about this quarantine. So when we kind of first actually started the podcast, the quarantine kind of started, but
it started at the same time we started.
Yeah, seriously. But I think too, I think we said this in the podcast, giving ourselves grace and allowing, time to come up with different topics, come up with different concepts, also take a break just mentally and physically. Because we also have a full-time job. We spoke about that before, and it's a lot. The pandemic is a lot. Nobody's ever in this generation has lived through a pandemic before. So
right.
Yeah.
So we thank you for coming back.
Yes.
If you've been here before, thank you for coming back. If you're new, welcome, cousin. We are back. Yes. Okay, we're back.
Welcome.
All right. As you can tell by our sweaters. What does yours say?
Let me show you guys. Hold up. It says I am on the nice list right now.
Oh, okay.
But if I change it, hold up, girl. Hold up. No, I'm on the naughty list.
So mine is not as cool. You can't really do anything extra. It was for an ugly sweater party I went to last year when parties were allowed. You know what I'm saying? For my friend's birthday, but it's just
definitely not an ugly sweater, but it's cute. I like it.
But as you can see, we're decked out in our coolest attire for the holiday.
You can find during the quarantine.
Right? Because we are going to talk about some holiday stuff. Because we're right here in the midst of holiday. What is today's the 12th?
Yes.
Don't get me the line. Hold on now. You know when you off work, like it's a Saturday. Okay, yes, it's December 12th. We didn't have to go to work today. But Christmas is, wow, not even 2 weeks away.
Yeah. It's 2020 has gone by so fast and slow at the same time, right? Kind of ready to get it over with, but not trying to rush my life. So yeah. Merry Christmas, early Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy, the third day of Hanukkah. Kwanzaa's coming up. Whatever you celebrate, happy that to you. For me in my house, we celebrate Christmas. That's why I got my little tree back here. But we're going to talk about a topic that hits home for people, whether you're in a relationship or single. It's Holiday Bae.
Holiday Bae or No Bae for the holidays.
Right. What do you do?
So one of the first things I want to get into is cuffing season, right? It is December, the Thanksgiving has passed, it's the holidays. And so people are trying to cuddle, people are trying to stay in and snuggle. It's cold outside. We live in the DMV. It is cold here. It's supposed to be snowing soon. So are you taking this time to just be like, I'm chilling, or are you getting some calls and some DMs and some text messages because people want to cuff and cuddle this holiday season?
So what I'll say is cuffing season, it usually starts in October because you got to have the different levels of it. You got the playoffs. We're right in the playoff area, I think, right now to figure out who's the winner. But there's all those stages that get to this point. And I will say I have not found a cuffing friend, which is fine. I am by myself, but that doesn't mean that I'm not. So as we know, Maryland is about to get locked down again, the DMV area, and other cities and states have already started that. But it seems as though as soon as that announcement was made a couple of days ago that we're going back into lockdown, I get random texts from people I haven't talked to since before the summertime, talking about, hey, you want to cuddle? Huh? Are you trying to set something up because you know we about to be inside? Like, what is this? So I just kind of laughed. I was like, haha, look at you, you're so funny. That was literally my response.
I'm more rude. I'm like, cuddle. You don't want to cuddle. Like, why you calling my phone saying cuddle? Like,
I'm a cuddler though, so don't even get me wrong. Like, I would love to have somebody here spread out on the couch, just cuddling, watching TV, eating popcorn, playing card game, just cuddling, or just laying wherever, just cuddling. I like that. But if I haven't talked to you in a long time and you hit me with the let's cuddle, you ain't trying
that's
to
what
cuddle.
I'm saying. They ain't trying to cuddle.
You ain't trying to cuddle. But I am trying to cuddle somebody. But you ain't trying to cuddle me back. Look, I'm being real, right? But yeah, so cuffing season is in full swing. And if you're getting those calls and text messages, I mean, you can be like Ebony and be like, boy, bye.
Boy, bye.
Or you could be like,
unless I don't skip, never mind what I was about to say.
I want to know what you
unless I want to cuddle and I want you to come over in my space. And I think in order for me to feel that way, we had to been talking for some time, and I trust you, and I feel like you will respect me in my space. And honestly, you're honest when you say you just want to cuddle, and then don't come over here and try to
You're trying to Netflix and chill, fill on some things.
Yes.
We ain't got time. But I do. When I was dating somebody, one of my favorite things was to go to his house because if he got on my nerves, I had the power to leave. Mm-hmm. So if someone is kind of cuddle at your house, it's kind of annoying because like if you want them to go.
So do you be rude and you're just like, you gotta go? Or
I haven't had any of that.
Throwing hints like the door is over there,
I haven't had anyone
time for me to go to sleep.
I haven't had anyone here where I wanted that to happen, but I think about it, I'm like, dang, if I really want someone to go and they're here, like how do you get them out? But I know like if I'm tired of somebody or if I just want to go back to my house, if I'm over there, I can just, all right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and head out.
Have you ever been to someone's house and you're trying to inch to leave, but they're still like, hey, trying to like,
I think every Black person has dealt with that.
You're just like, girl, I'm just trying to inch out the door, boy, bye, like just.
Yeah.
Oh, call. Then you text somebody, call my phone real quick. Anything to try to get out the door.
Yeah.
So I think that is hilarious. So we don't have a boo. So I guess we're not cuffing or having anyone cuff us this season.
Not yet. Season's not over.
Oh, thank you. Speaking into existence.
Right.
Put it in the atmosphere.
Yes.
God gonna send down a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
And so speaking of cuffing season, so you said it starts in October and then it goes to when, in your opinion?
Probably the whole season is the whole entire, like all of winter.
It's so about March, like right when it started to warm up.
No, it's probably cuffing season needs to end around February, around Valentine's Day.
Okay,
you gotta let them go.
I see.
So you can start to get ready for your spring fling.
No, wait a minute. You can't let him go until after Valentine's Day because you got to get your gift.
No. He might. He might think it depends because sometimes I think a cuff can turn into something real. But you always like when you're cuffing with somebody, I think that you should have like rules. And know what your expectations are. Again, I haven't cuffed, so I'm like, I don't know. I would like someone to test it out. Just saying.
Test out my theory and my rules.
But yeah, I don't. I think that most people who cuff just try to get through the cold weather, and they don't want to go past too many holidays. And you already have like Thanksgiving and Christmas. Which Thanksgiving and Christmas, if you're a cuff, you don't go to Thanksgiving and Christmas with them. You don't do New Year's with them. You're just a cuff. You're not boyfriend. You're not girlfriend.
You can't go around the parents. You can't show up to holiday parties. You can't meet my friends. You're strictly to come over in my house and I go to yours. No other parties.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And we're not in a relationship. We just having fun. We're friends.
Right. That's it. I mean, in my opinion, I could be thinking a bit all wrong.
I see it. I see the vision.
But if you start to cuff, you may start to like that person. And then if you start to like that person, then you can change it over into the next like level of actual relationship. But if you were strictly just saying this is a cuff, then you should expect nothing more than to be cuffed
for a couple of months.
For a couple of months until one of y'all get tired.
Okay.
And so, but when it comes to after the cuff, like when it comes to holiday bae, like do you have a holiday bae? If you don't have a holiday bae, my family isn't very nosy too much when it comes into like my love life because I tell them everything anyway. Like my immediate family, I tell them everything. So like if I'm talking to somebody, they're gonna know his name at the very least and what city or state he lives in because that's just how I do.
So that's not the norm. I come from a family. So on my mom's side, my grandma had 10 kids. On my dad's side, my grandmother had 5 kids. Well, 6, 1 died, so 5 kids. And so pretty large family. When we get together for Thanksgiving and Christmas, when we do, it's a lot of, do you have a boyfriend? Even weddings, they'll like grill you and say, you know, who are you talking to now? And all kind of questions will come up if you don't have I don't know if anybody else has experienced this, but family members are like, are you gay? Do you even like men? Like yes, anything, because it's like, okay, so when you're like up until like 18, 20, it's the whole thing of you shouldn't be in a relationship. You need to be focusing on school. Right. By the time you're like 21, 25, something like that, it's kind of like when you get married. And it's like, how can I jump from being in no relationship to being married? So pick y'all battle. Like, and then if you start coming around, it's like, when you gonna get married? When you having kids? When are you gonna bring somebody around? And it's kind of like, girl, I'm just gonna be, if it's not, to me, I haven't took a guy home because I feel like if it's not serious, I don't want to really show up. And then I don't know if you know this, but families tend to hold on to stuff. So if you bring somebody around, you bring Joe around, and then your family remembers Joe the next holiday season and Joe is gone, they will have an issue and say, oh, you'll bring a new guy around, Mark. I'm making up these names, Mark. And they're like, wasn't Joe here last year? It was Mark. Now you done messed up my Mark relationship and I got to move on to James. I don't know. I want after these names out the Bible, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I see like, you know, movies where that happens. I just never really experienced. The only thing was like, if I go to my grandma's house, even now, she'll ask me about my ex, but we really broke up almost 3 years ago. She was like, well, where is such and such? And I was like, oh, he in Maryland. He's working. That's what I always tell them, because I don't know if she realizes that we broke up, or if she just keeps forgetting, but she asks about that all the time. But other than that, I mean, maybe once in a blue moon, someone might say something like, you know, you have a man or something like that. And I'm like, nah, but I don't get the grill. So luckily I probably don't get the grill from my family, because they usually know already off top what the deal is, because I just tell them. But that's a big block. If, you know, they'd be like, oh, well, where is such and such? And you with Mark. And then they asking about the guy 2 times ago. That makes you like you out there doing too much. So you got to have a powwow with the family, like, yo, sis, bruh, let's not do that. Let's keep that internal. If you see me with somebody else, you just act like you heard about them. Like, oh, I heard so much about you. It's so great to meet you. That's what they need to do. Let you live your life. You're going to want to settle down and you're going to want to bring whoever around until you're ready to settle down. So it is what it is.
Right. So I don't know. Can you hear me right now?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if my mic is doing something weird because I touched it. It's my fault.
No, I can hear you just fine.
Okay. Nice. We can keep going then. I just felt like I couldn't hear myself. Oh, I can hear myself now. Okay. So, in order for me to bring a bae home for the holidays, it's going to take, like, we're going to be almost married, to be honest. Yeah. Because I just feel like my family too nosy and too big and too, like, very so mind you, my grandmother had 10 kids, but there's 7 daughters that she had, right? So they're all very strong. They're very opinionated, especially when it don't have anything to do with their daughter or son. You know, so yeah. I think they expect me to bring Jesus home at this point.
Well, you better bring him home then, honey. Or someone close to it.
Right. Oh Lord, too much pressure for me. But yeah, and plus it's the quarantine. So dating has shifted and changed. So in order to date now, it looks different. We're not going out as much. So a lot of times you might have to know like a friend of a friend, or, you know, get on a dating app and things like that. We've talked about my woes with dating apps. I'm off of them at this time, because I think that you can find someone on a dating app, but I also think it takes a certain person, and I'm not that person.
Right.
So
I feel you. I'm not on them either. It was more frustrating, and being the extrovert introvert that I am, mostly extrovert, I guess. I like to just meet people and just talk to people and, you know, do it the old fashioned way. So the dating app was just irritating to me.
okay.
So,
Yeah,
for now,
I got tired of swiping, to be honest.
And that's where I was bad. I never swiped. So when I was on what is it? Tinder's the one you got to swipe and match. I wasn't swiping, so I wasn't matching with anybody, and it would just send me like a what was it, like a diamond or something a day, where these are your top picks, pick one. That's the only time I would actually be on the app. Other than that, I didn't swipe, which I like the other apps because you didn't have to swipe in order to get somebody. Someone can send you a message without you even connecting with them. So I thought that was better for me because I'm lazy on that. But I still didn't see much potential out there in these streets. So
yeah, me either. Unfortunately, maybe they're out there somewhere. I'm sure the DMV is Chocolate City. They have more than enough men here. Just gotta find them. So speaking of that, let's say you start dating someone 3 months prior to Thanksgiving, right? Would you take them home, or you're like, it's only been 3 months, I gotta wait 6 months, or what do you think?
So I'm a little different. My family's a little different. We don't spend like Christmas and Thanksgiving and stuff like that together usually because one, I've lived on the East Coast and they lived on the West Coast or Southwest in Arizona. So I wouldn't fly home for Christmas or Thanksgiving just because the flights were so expensive. Pre-COVID, it was just, I would wait until February. So I'm not really the best person to ask that question because we don't do the Thanksgiving thing. But for me, my parents can meet somebody on our first date. I've had a first date over the summer and he came to the house and he came in the house and he met my dad, he met my mom. Like it just is what it is. So I don't keep a person from my family. So if we happen to have Thanksgiving, I wouldn't mind bringing him, even if it's only a couple of weeks. If we vibing, then it is what it is. And I'll bring him home. I don't care. I don't care. My parents probably think I'm a hussy because I'll bring anybody.
You know what? I wasn't gonna say anything. I'd have been like, I know your parents probably like, all right, here go another one.
But they know how my dad is. My dad really knows a lot of people. He networks. He talks to everybody. And so I'm the same way. Like I'm gonna talk to everybody and I'm gonna be friendly with everybody. And if I feel that it's a genuine, like cool connection, I have no issue with you meeting my family. So it doesn't even mean he has to be like someone I'm really, really feeling. Like if we're just on a couple dates, all right, well, let's see if you can hang with the B family. Like, come on. It is what, we'll see how you can deal with us. But we'll all just be having fun and joking as though that person is
well,
part
here's
of the
the
family.
turnaround, right? So let's say the guy wants you to go to their family's holiday party, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Would you go? And it's been, let's say it's been like 2 weeks.
So if it's been 2 weeks and we're still like in the beginning stages and he understands we're in the beginning stages, I would probably have to see how he's done it in the past. Like if he's like a serial, oh, I love you, come home, it's been 2 weeks, I want you to meet my family, I think I'm going to marry you. no, I probably won't because he's jumping too fast. But if it's 2 weeks of friendship, because I don't really go on the time too much, but if it feels like a genuine friendship and he knows that I'm not going home, I'm here in Maryland by myself and he wants me to not be alone, hey, I'll go. I'm getting my plate of mac and cheese. I don't care. I don't care who's making it. I would go, but not if he's someone who makes me feel as though he's already too attached to me.
Okay, so I see that, and I also would do that based on, like you said, his past history. So if you do this often, I don't want your family looking at me like, she'll be gone in 2 weeks, girl,
Right.
or this is just the next girl, right? And you may still get some of that outside of, even if it's been 3 months, 6 months, but yeah, it depends. It depends on the level of comfort for me. So if I feel comfortable with you and, talks that we've had about your family, then I would go.
Right. I think it's a good way to see how a person really is if you see them around their family, because they let all their guards down for the most part. So they're not going to be able to fake it, the persona they're trying to show you when they're with their family. Or they may be able to, I don't know. But I would just think that after a while, after a couple hours, they just going to be who they really are. So, and I like seeing where people come from.
Yep. So. Be nice. It'll be nice. So, yeah, I guess.
But I will say, if we 2 weeks in and he is not going home for Thanksgiving and I'm not going home for Thanksgiving, he better not think I'm about to cook a whole Thanksgiving dinner for us. That's probably not going to happen. Like if we're both going to stay in the area, we're going to have to get some takeout because you're not going to get all my cooking skills that early. You're not about to stress me out trying to figure out, well, how can I cook for you? So that if it happens to be one of those things where neither of us really go home, then I wouldn't mind spending the holiday with him, but I'm not gonna throw down. He's not getting wife duties 2 weeks in.
I think it's also, if you guys plan on being together, good to like make new traditions too. So that's how I would spend the whole takeout thing. Let's just try something different, something new.
See, you nice. I'm gonna be like, you're not getting my cookie. I'm
feeling lazy. That's the next one. If it's still like, can you just try to cook something? Absolutely not. Like,
I'll make some appetizers out the freezer, but I'm not gonna cook. I'm not cooking a whole meal because I don't even cook a whole Thanksgiving meal for myself, and so I don't see why I would cook it for just 2 people. We would get something like we're going to eat good and we're going to spend the time being thankful for the things that we do have and more of cuddling. There I go back to that word, how I love it. We can eat whatever, something seafood with my pescatarian life, and we can cuddle on the couch and watch football. So, but I just want to throw that out there. Like is he going to take you home? Or are you going to take him home? But if y'all both not going home, how do you spend it? I don't mind spending it with him. I just want to make sure he understands we're not going like all out. But I'm a traditional person. I love being traditional and like the holidays and doing those things. So it's going to be hard to like make sure I back it off. But I'm like, I'm not cooking a whole lot anyway. So he's got to know that for now. But once we're together, it's going to be on that traditional level. So, like full meal. It may even get catered. Who cares? But it might be bigger meal back later on.
All right. So I looked up cuffing season on Urban Dictionary. This is not factual, but I just want to see what they said. It says the cold season cuffing season is the cold season when everyone's cuddled up. So you settle for a new boyfriend or girlfriend way below your standards, or you're one of the smart ones who cozy ups with, I don't know what that means. I skipped the last sentence because that doesn't mean anything. I think it was like an ad or something. This other one says, during the fall and winter months, people who normally would rather be single or promiscuous find themselves along with the rest of the world desiring to be cuffed or tied down by a serious relationship. The cold weather and prolonged indoor activity causes singles to become lonely and depressed to be cuffed. I don't think any of these are really factual. So you can make it your own however you define cuffing or being cuffed is
Yeah.
what it is.
Definitely come up with your own rules and regulations on how you two want to work it out. So like, I'm trying to get cuffed, but I need to sit here and have this conversation with the cuffee.
The cuffee.
So that the cuffer can be happy. We can both be happy. We got to come up with the pros and the cons and what we gonna do. But yeah, I think that was a good try from Urban Dictionary. But yeah, either way, it's something where basically single people don't want to be alone, want to spend time with somebody, and that's how I think it is easy to possibly turn it into a kind of relationship feeling thing. Um, but you have to know up front, like, is this something that you would allow to turn to a relationship if it gets to that point, or if you're strictly like, I'm emotionally unavailable, this is strictly physical, and that's it.
So you guys, anyone who's listening, DM us, message us, let us know what you think cuffing season is, if we have the definition even remotely correct in your opinion, and let us know if you are participating in cuffing season.
Yes.
I'm interested to know.
Yeah, let us know if you're participating, how you set that up, like how's it going?
What's the
cuffing,
rules?
Cuffing, you may think you about to cuff somebody for the whole season, and it only may last a couple weeks, and the cuff just fall off because something happened. You know what I'm saying? So let us know how it's actually going. And yeah, I think that's all for cuffing for now.
That's all for cuffing.
But time is flying. It's already December, halfway through December. Before you know it, we're going to be back into the spring. And the cuff, it'd be over anyway. It's time for spring fling. It's time for summer bae. And then the cycle starts all over again.
Well, with COVID, there was no summer bae either. It was just...
There was summer crushes, but there weren't no baes. You're right. Like, you can just look at somebody from afar.
a run-on cuffing season. Because even like, let's say you meet someone in the grocery store, right? You have on your mask. You can't see what people's teeth look like. You can't see what people's face look like. So it's a lot harder. I mean, and I also wouldn't recommend... Would you cuff someone who you just met? I would say I wouldn't recommend it, but...
It all depends on how the gut feels when you're around them. Because again, time is not really important. It's how you really feel when you're in the presence of that person. So I wouldn't be completely against it. But I know the whole mask thing, guys have been trying to shoot their shot, even with the mask on. And I'm like, and one guy was like, you can't even see my face. Like, no, but I can tell you're beautiful. But you can't see my face. I had a dress on that day. That's all it was.
Oh, it was a dress.
That's all it was. I mean, it was a maxi dress, but that's all it was. I'm like, you can't see my face. But he tried it. He really did. I'm like, you don't even know if I'm beautiful.
Right.
What color? You can't tell from my eyes. He should have been able to tell the tone of my eyes was lighter, but he couldn't see for real. He wasn't that close. So yeah, get out of here. You tried it, but I like what he did though. He tried. Shoot that shot. It was a brick. Okay. So what are we gonna talk about next? What's next on this episode?
Let's talk about before we go into like holiday parties, let's talk about like our favorite items or some little tips that we've can give out for the holiday season. And so I'll just start first because I don't have much to talk about with these, but just in regards to makeup, I'm not wearing makeup that much. It's quarantine. Everyone take a drink every time Ebony says quarantine or COVID in this podcast. But I did pick up from Target this L'Oreal Paris Air Volume Mega Mascara. So if anybody wants to try it, it's what the YouTubers do. It's not that bad. I like it. It lengthens my eyelashes, takes a couple of coats. And today was my first day using it, so I won't give like a full review, but I actually like it. Not sure if it matches my skin tone correctly, but for me buying it without testing it, it's pretty good. It's the Huda Beauty. I think it's their new foundation, and I got it in Mocha 500G, but it's their new stick formula foundation, and it's pretty... I can't tell I'm wearing makeup. It's pretty light. And I like it so far. It feels like my skin. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I haven't worn it outside. I'm just in the house. I just put it on for this podcast. So,
Okay, I see you glowing, girl. I see
but that's
it.
all I got for y'all.
Well, my little holiday tip is this new lipstick that I bought. It is by the LipBar. I'm gonna be like on their videos. Always put it in their house, and it's cute. But this is it,
That is
and
cute.
it's called Boss Lady.
All
Like
right, Boss Lady.
Bawse Lady, Boss Lady. It is the perfect color, I feel like, for someone who's looking for a red lip but is afraid to go bright red, which I is she. Um, um, but it's a nice color. This is matte. It's small. It's small, but it's Black owned. It is cruelty free. It's vegan. They started in 2012. Like, right now I'm just in love with their products, and you can get them. I don't think they're in Walmart, but they're definitely in Target. And they're online. And once you sign up for the emails, like, they get you like, hey, take this complexion test to see which color lipstick or foundation and all that. And I'm like, yo, but it's something that I feel would be perfect for a holiday Zoom, a podcast Zoom. It gives you some color. And so for us single ladies, I know sometimes we have those nights where we're like bored, there's nothing really to do. And you're like, let me go in my makeup. Let me just play around with this eyeshadow, or let me just put my face together and take some pictures. This is a good color for that.
Yes, I haven't done that in a long time. And that used to be one of my joys, just to sit down, don't have anywhere to go, no rushing, and just play in makeup. Be creative, take a couple of pictures. I'm not going anywhere because 9 times out of 10 I did something crazy.
But yeah, that's it. And if the LipBar is listening, all right, if you need a model, I'm here for it. Okay.
So yeah, guys, keep tuning in. We're gonna do different segments like this, so you can find, different items that we're trying, different Black-owned items. I didn't have any this time around, but I'll try to, get some at some point. And so yeah, let us know if you've tried any of these. What's your thoughts? If you liked them, if you hated it. Hopefully you liked them.
But yeah, this is just a little fun finds that we're finding as we go out shopping. Grab them, and if we like it, if we love it, or if we don't, we'll let you know. So yeah,
we'll let you know. So let's talk about holiday parties, because actually for my birthday, was it 2 weeks ago at this point? I saw Melita. And so let the podcast listeners know, Melita is a mutual friend of me and Sierra's. And we talked about your last party was like it wasn't a holiday party, it was a game night, but it was the last party that we went to. So let's talk about like holiday parties and the do's and the don'ts, and especially now with COVID, if you choose to have a holiday party,
which you better not.
Yes. If you choose to, guys, be safe and invite a few people. I've been, places where I'm thinking there's a few people and then there's a whole bunch of people that show up. So just be careful, because especially with this disease, you do not know, or virus, you do not know if someone has it. They can be they can not be showing any symptoms. They can be sick and still come and show up. So yeah.
Be very careful. But I will say, just to clarify, my game night was a holiday party. So it's usually the first Saturday in January as a New Year's party.
New Year's party, okay.
But I pushed it back because of everything that was happening in December. So it technically is a holiday party. It unfortunately will not be happening the first Saturday in January this year. I'm sorry, folks. But we had a ball February 22nd, 2020. I didn't go
home until, I don't know what time I went home that night. Maybe like 2. Was it 2?
Yeah, probably. I start to lose track of time at my parties. So.
Sierra's like, y'all get out, get out.
I could have went to sleep though, because my 2 line sisters was here and they would have made sure everything was good, and then like while I was upstairs. But I stuck it out. And after y'all left, I think we ate. I feel like we sat at the table and just talked about the party, and we ate more food. So it's a brunch party, everybody. So if you my friend, we gonna have it in 2022. And I mean, if the virus goes away, I might can do it sometime next year. We'll see.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry. I got
so some holiday party do's and don'ts. So like one is like, do you arrive on time? Now for Sierra's party, and anybody knows so here's the catch-22. Sometimes I'm early, sometimes I'm late. So just take it with a grain of salt. For your party, I think I arrived on time. I was there before everybody else. I try to arrive on time. However, people appreciate if you just arrive a little bit, not late. So not like in 3 hours late to the party, but just a little bit late so they can have time catching up for little things that they may not have done.
Yeah, the time we put on the invitation is never the time. For me, if I say my party's starting at 8, I don't expect y'all there to 8:30. But it's to like, for the
make
few
sure.
people that, like, okay, I don't want to say it starts at 9 and y'all get here at 10. Like, I want to, you got to put the CP time in it and let them know, like, hey, it really is 8, but can you come like 8:30?
Okay.
Like, just to, because you're running around that whole day. So I don't prefer people to arrive on time unless it's one of my closest friends, because then they'll help me finish cooking or, clean up this, clean up that, and they'll open the door and let people in while I'm upstairs getting ready. Those are the only people who can arrive on time if you're close to the host.
Okay. And I also don't think you should come on time. Just I've learned my lesson. It depends, because most of the time when I'm going to holiday parties, I'm like cool with the actual person. It's not like someone else invited me. So if I show up early, like I'm not like, oh my God, I showed up early because I know you, right? But I don't think I would show up early for someone that I didn't know's party, unless I was trying to be like hospitable or something to show up, like,
Yeah.
If it's at 8, I might try to show up at like 8:15, something like that.
Yeah, right. But before we even get to the showing up on time or not showing up on time, I just want to dial back. One of my pet peeves is the RSVP situation. It is the biggest pet peeve, because for me, my parties aren't just like, oh, I'm going to have water, chips, and I'm going to order a couple pizzas. Like, my parties have food. My holiday party, New Year's party, it's a brunch. I usually cook everything, but it's based off of how many people have RSVP'd, of course. This year, I ordered it out, got it as catered, whatever. And that was fine. And then even for my birthday, like, I had it catered Jamaican food because I wanted a Caribbean feel. But if you're telling me you're going to come, or especially if I put a deadline, let me know by X date. That's because I'm working with somebody to get the food, whether it's to buy the ingredients or order. If you don't tell me you're coming and you show up,
expect not to eat.
It's annoying because it's like there may or may not be enough food. But the worst is if you tell me you're coming and then you hit me the day of or the day before and say, oh, I'm sorry, I can't make it.
I see.
I just calculated you and the amount of food that I've either cooked or purchased. So for you to not show up, that's a problem.
In that event, do you think they should like cash app you a few dollars? I
don't even want anything from them. I just know I keep in my memory, because it's not even the hurt of the money. Because if I really didn't, like, if I didn't have it to spend, then I wouldn't have done it. But it's like, it's very inconsiderate to tell someone you're coming and then back out last minute. I know things happen, things come up, that's what it is. Life happens. But for the most part, I think sometimes people get to the day and they're like, oh, dang, I forgot I was going to go and I don't feel like it right now. Or I said yes, but oh man, I looked at my calendar and I already have 3 other things. I really shouldn't have said yes. And they try to change it last minute. I don't like that. So I think if you're going to go to a party, if you're going to RSVP to a party, even if you don't feel like it, even if it's 10 degrees outside, if you told that person you're going to come, you need to come. You need to peel yourself up and come, because one, they invited you because they thought about you specifically. And they want to see your face and they want to enjoy your. I just the book tell you of why someone can't come, and it's always last minute, and it's the worst when it's the day of or after you put in all the effort. Because the person, if they're having a venue, they could get a smaller venue. If if it's at their house, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so much. They might not have to clean all 3 levels if it's only gonna be 5 people. You know what I'm saying? So
right. So here's my take on that. I think that if it's repeated, I get it. But especially with like the quarantine and stuff, I'm slowly realizing that people be like go through stuff silently, and maybe they just couldn't get out of bed that day. If it's one of those cases, I would say like, you know, it might be a little annoying, but you maybe overlook it. Now, if this person is constantly doing that, yes, but you also kind of know your friends, like, oh, they're just not coming, or you know.
Yeah. And like I said, like if things come up, I would hope that they would be open enough to say something. And I'll invite people a few times, but after a while, like if it happens more than twice, I don't invite them anyway. And it's not like, oh, I hate you. It's just like, I'm not wasting my time, because whether you say you're gonna come or not, like it just is what it is.
What if someone says it's tentative, right? So someone's like, I don't know if I can come or not, like, but
I count them as a no.
Okay.
Yeah, they're always, unless you say yes, you're not like, I don't, the tentative. First of all, I don't even know what I see even on the invitation. It should either be yes or no.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, but if you're tentative, you're a no in my book. I don't count you in.
Okay. So do you want your friend to say no? If you even on the fence about coming, just say no.
Right.
But then if they show up.
If they show up, then they show up. But like, so if they're telling me, you know, I'm really on the fence, in my head, they're a no. If they end up showing up, they're most likely going to bring another bottle or a bag of chips or something with them,
cool.
and not show up empty-handed. But I don't mind if I have more people who don't show up than who say they're not going to show up and then show up. So
okay, I just want to kind of give, like, if somebody is like, well, I don't know how I'll feel that day, or if some, you know, just give them a different option.
Right. But just think about your host when it comes down to it. Just think about if you were hosting a party and you had all these plans and expectations of your guests, and then they just start dropping out. And then don't give a bad excuse.
Listen.
Like these excuses sometimes be just like making me want to just thumb through the phone, but it is what it is.
Be honest, and
be real, right?
I hate planning stuff though. Like I was trying to plan a trip in the midst of a quarantine, I don't know why, for my birthday. And it was just the no responses, the amount of like me trying to find stuff but can't really book anything because I don't know how many people are coming. And then people say they're coming, but then when I send them a text about something, there's no response to that. So I'm just like, which one is it? So again, like you said, respect people and their time. And like, if you're not going to do something, just simply say no. And then if you are, let them know. So yeah.
We're all adults. You can tell us no. You can tell us you don't feel like coming.
Yeah.
Tell us you just want to chill today. That's fine. I'd rather hear that than have the expectation that you're going to come and then you don't show.
Right. And then,
or you tell me you're going to be at the party, or in your case, they're going to help you. They're going to plan to be somewhere. And then when you're trying to finalize the details, it's crickets. Right. Like, that's not cool.
It's not. And also I think for a host too, just not pressuring people. Cause I feel like sometimes people feel like pressured to go to stuff, and so if they say no, and then people are like, "Oh, well, are you sure?" And I have to catch myself too, because it's not like I'm trying to pressure people, but you just kind of like, you know, maybe I just really want you to come, and so I'm like, well, maybe, and then like, are you sure? And they're like, yeah, fine, but they really not going to come anyway, or maybe they have something else, and so you know, that type of thing.
Right.
So
yeah, sorry, I had to go back. Like, I know we were talking about arriving on time or not arriving on time, but I had to go back to the whole RSVP, because that is a pet peeve of a person who was raised in a family. My parents had over 35 Christmas parties, and it was always the Saturday after Christmas. And that was their thing. Like, it got so big, they made it into a cabaret, and people would like bring their own food, and they would rent out like a hotel ballroom and have it there. But we used to have hundreds of people in our house and in our backyard my whole entire life. So I'm all about the festivities and hosting. I love it, but don't play with my time, and don't play with my intelligence with bad excuses.
And so with that being said, I think that if someone invites you to a holiday party or somewhere, I think within that week or a week of, depending on the person's deadline, right? You should give them a yes or no. So like if someone invites you, I think if you see a text within first of all, you see it the first day, but within 3 days, you should at least respond to the text or the email or the invite and be able to say like, yes, I'm coming, no, I'm not.
Right.
So just given that courtesy of responding to the actual RSVP on time is very important too.
Yeah. And I know people get busy and they're like, oh, I saw it and I was going to respond. I thought I responded, or I was going to get back to it later in the afternoon after I check my calendar, and they never get back. So I know a lot of the different apps now will send a reminder that the event is happening. I don't think they send a reminder that that invitation was sent. So you just got to be like a little more cognizant of what you're doing. And I think if it's really something that you want to go to anyway, you're not going to forget and you're going to RSVP right away. So
True. It's
but
always
no love lost. I still love the people who don't come. I'm just saying, just let's be adults. You know what I'm saying? Let's treat people how we would want to be treated. And
exactly. Kindness
extend
goes a long
courtesy.
way. And respect goes a long way. Another thing I want to talk about is whether you bring something to holiday parties. Like, do you bring a gift? Do you bring a bottle? Do you offer to bring food? I say yes to all of the above. Like, you don't have to bring every single item I just listed, but you know, you bring something to someone's home when you come, unless they specifically say, hey, don't bring anything, or do not bring cash or money or a gift. Bring clothes in lieu of this because I'm donating, right? So I think you should never come to someone's home empty-handed unless you're like just simply going to visit a friend. You know, it's not like an event or something. But yeah,
right. I agree. I think you should bring something small, at least. You know.
And also, sometimes people try to be like super, super cheap. Now I understand if you have like multiple holiday parties that you're attending, you don't want to spend like $60 per holiday party that you're going to, but just keep in mind, like, if I had a holiday party, this is what I would want someone to bring to mind. So that's what I have to say about that.
I 100% agree with everything. But I think it's something that we're taught, most people are taught, you know, from their parents, young, especially mothers, like you don't just show up to anyone's house empty-handed.
I don't think I ever was taught that. But growing up and getting older and just knowing like different customs and stuff and going to different friends' houses and parties, like this is something that, you know, it's a staple. So, you know, it's always a learning experience.
Since you was from the deep South, they would have been like, because I feel like it's a Southern hospitality thing to bring something.
I didn't have regular parents, so I think my parents didn't really tell me like, give me certain like directions when it came to stuff. So yeah, and then my parents often didn't visit other people's houses, so it wasn't like they could show me like when you go to other people's house, you bring stuff. I didn't see them go to many people's house in general. So, or if they did go, I wasn't with them. So,
gotcha.
Yeah. Is there anything else we want to talk about during this holiday fun episode? Oh, yes. If you are single, we forgot, let's circle all the way back around to like cuffing season, holiday parties. Yeah, just being single in general. So if you're single during this season, I know it's hard for many of us because you are on Instagram and Facebook and seeing other people in relationships and how it looks for them, blah, blah, blah. But make your own traditions. So find your favorite holiday movies. Like I love Rudolph. I love Preacher's Wife, like old school movies. Not really old school, but you know what I'm saying. I love older movies, or, you know, just finding new movies too. I think Kelly Rowland has a new Lifetime movie out. So just
she does.
Finding new traditions, making you some cocoa, reading a book, something just to get yourself in the holiday spirit and not think about not having someone.
Yeah. I think that there's a lot of different things you can do. Like if you like to bake, I love to bake. I'm going to bake cookies. I'm supposed to mail some to my friend up in New York. So I need to do those soon. I like to do that. Anything that just makes you feel happy. It doesn't even have to be like watching Christmas movies, which I'm going to do because I went last night with my church, young adults. We went to see, we were supposed to see The Grinch, the one with Jim Carrey, because we rented out the whole theater. But something happened and they were showing the like cartoon version of the Grinch, and we wasn't really trying to see that. I actually
I
had just
like that
watched
one
it,
too.
but I just watched it. So
Oh.
I didn't want to see it. And then like one of our leads, she's like, I have kids. I do not want to see anything cartoon. I want to watch a real movie. So we ended up watching Bad Moms Christmas or Bad
Okay.
Mom, the number 2 of the Bad Mom series.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I never saw the first one. It was a little more cuss words than I would have expected in a movie, but it put me in the holiday spirit because it was like 10 days before Christmas, and it was just,
Mm-hmm.
oh, and they had the snow and the trees and the Santa and the Christmas morning. I was like, I'm going home and I'm about to turn on Netflix. I'm about to watch all these Christmas movies and eat Chinese food. Like, that's what I'm going to do. So
Put on some Christmas socks, and I love to. That's one of my traditions. Every year I buy myself Christmas socks. And one of my best friends, Patrick, when we both lived in Atlanta, I would every year buy him like a Christmas sock too, or like, you know, like, so friends can be matching with Christmas socks. So I thought that was kind of festive and fun. Trying to think of something else cool that I do for. I do not. So here's the thing, guys. Hold me to this. In 2021, right? I'm gonna put up a Christmas tree. I've never put up my own Christmas tree in my apartment. I've been on my own for forever. So I've had my own apartment since I've been 23, but been on my own since I've been 17, and so never put up a Christmas tree because I feel like it's just me. Like, if I put it up, I gotta take it down, and it's probably gonna stay up until, you know, March. You know, so
and then what? Let it stay up till March and look at it. So mine was I took it down right before the party this year. So it was probably up until at least Valentine's Day. And that's fine because guess what? When I have it on, it makes me happy to look at it. Like, I smile. It's just white lights, but it's it makes me happy. So I don't care what anyone says. And I have it on a timer. So it's already on when I pull up, because you know I get home late from work. It's already dark outside. I pull up, I'm like, oh, the tree. Oh. Like, it just, you know, it's not
boosts
real.
your mood.
Yeah, it's not real. So I got my Christmas tree candle burning, so it smells like a Christmas tree here.
You know what?
But look, I have always had a tree. Always. Like, that's just what I do. And when I was in a relationship, I would get the real trees because I felt like, oh, this is a real good tradition. Like, we're gonna do that. But nah, I'm single now. I bought this tree. It's 7.5 feet. I bought it off Craigslist from some lady for like $50. Shout out to Chandra for riding with me to go get it. But I put my tree up right after Thanksgiving, the day after, or maybe the day before. I don't even remember. But it's been up since November, and it's gonna stay up.
And I love, like, also Christmas music too.
Yeah.
So Mariah Carey's a staple. I was just listening to Whitney Houston, Preacher's Wife, that album. We
Boyz II Men, Let It Snow.
Yes, Let It Snow. We posted and asked people like their favorite Christmas songs. And so that was a little fun for me to go and try to like listen to songs that people were listing. So yeah.
So yeah, I know we're gonna physically feel like, oh, we're lonely because no one's around us and we don't have nobody to cuddle. There goes that word again, y'all. Just listen how many times.
Take a drink every time Sierra says
cuddle, because that's what I'm wanting that. But just because we don't have someone to cuddle with doesn't mean that we can't still enjoy the holidays. And if we go home or if we don't go home, we still can enjoy ourselves. We spend a lot of time reflecting on ourselves these past few months of this quarantine. You can drink again, even though I said it, not Ebony. But never feel as though you can't enjoy being by yourself and starting new traditions.
Yeah.
And you will have a tree next year. Whether it's real or not, I'm going to let you decide.
It won't be.
The real trees are a little more work because you got to constantly get up under there and pour water.
Yep.
That's too much. But I just went with Fola the other day to pick out a tree for her house. So that was cool, but it was freezing out there and I didn't plan to go tree shopping after work. So I only had a leather jacket on, and that's not a real coat. You know what I'm saying? So, but she got a nice tree and she's been watering it. But yeah, that's too much work for me. This thing goes in a box and in the garage and that's it.
Because then if I get a real tree, I got to bring it in and throw it away. And
you can get a small one. You can get a small real tree though.
We'll see. Maybe I'll change my mind by then. I need to be in a relationship by then, so I'll have somebody to come and take it in.
Whether you in a relationship or not.
No. I mean, I'm gonna get a tree, but I'm just saying, but whether I get a real one or a fake one,
It depends on. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay.
I'm gonna get a tree. So yeah.
Yes. So anyway, we just are ready for this holiday to come, and not even just Christmas, because Christmas really isn't one of my, I'm a Christian, yes I am, I'm a believer, but it's not my favorite holiday.
Really? What's your
And
favorite?
maybe I love New Year's. It's like the first day of school, it feels like. It's like you get to start all over. So I just absolutely adore New Year's.
Okay.
You can just keep doing it. My friend is born on that day and I'm so jealous. Like, how are you born on New Year's Day? Like that is, I wouldn't even do it myself if I was born that day. Like it would be the party of the century every year. So New Year's is my favorite, which is why I have a New Year's party. But it's always the first Saturday because, you know, you don't want to be on New Year's Day trying to go to a party. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not going to take that from y'all, but the first Saturday, you coming to Sierra's house. But yeah, so all the stuff we talked about wasn't even just about Christmas parties. It can still, you know, talk about any holiday party, any birthday party, any holiday that comes up. If you feel alone, not just Christmas, you might feel alone on New Year's. You definitely gonna feel alone on February 14th, mm-hmm. But that's okay because you have you, and that's all that matters is that you have you, and you can create new traditions for yourself.
Yes, with the positivity, like it.
Yes. And if you're feeling really alone, just hit us in the DMs. One of us will respond. Like we can FaceTime or whatever with you because we're going to be by ourselves too. No, I'm just kidding. I ain't speaking that into existence. I'm going to knock on wood. I know it's going to sound bad. Sorry into the microphone, but I just had to knock on the wood for that. That ain't going to happen. We're not going to be alone for long.
I almost start singing our song that we sung the last episode. I'll leave it alone.
Wait.
You're not alone. You're not alone.
You and I.
Not alone. Don't leave me out here, Sierra. I heard you kind of get quiet.
You, though you're far away.
Apart.
I am here to stay. Look, now I went to a different part. I messed up. You and I. Okay, let me stop because if y'all liking these vocals, I do. I can be booked. No, just kidding.
And don't y'all talk about my snap. I know my snap was a little off because I was trying to snap with this finger and not this one. So
our timing is probably off too because we're still on Zoom. So yeah, we will say that our whole plan was to start season 2, not only just with video but in person. Mm-hmm. We made the decision that because COVID-19 has not gone away, it would be best for us to still continue to record virtually. But as soon as we can get back into the same room, you guys are going to see us interacting together again. We miss it. And it'll be something new because we haven't done it since the second episode? First episode, the health, mental health with Joy was the one episode that we were able to do in person. And after that, everything else has been virtual.
I forgot about that.
It's been a long time. And that's why we really wanted to do it. And we wanted to change things up and add video. And even just being in the same room really does change the vibe. And it's hard because sometimes the timing is off. I know my internet, I have Fios. They be playing games with me.
It's a couple of times this episode. I heard it, but it's fine.
I saw it because it said my internet is unstable, and I don't know why. I pay my bill, so that's why another reason why I think it would be better if we were able to do it in person because we don't have to worry about those type of issues. Mm-hmm. But y'all wait, we're not giving up on being in person. We just want to wait for this vid to leave. You know, she ain't gone yet, so.
I might or may not give y'all a background at some point. Until then, you're gonna have to look at my white background.
Right, well, no, you're gonna have a background next time. You know the backgrounds we was trying out. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is just for now because this is not where I'm going to be recording in front of a tree all the time. But I felt like since we were doing festive and I had a tree shirt, I wanted to throw the tree out there. And if you're listening to us and you're not able to see us, just go to YouTube really, really quickly and just check out our video and just look at the tree on our shirt. Look at our sweaters. Look at our festive smiles.
I'm gonna go back to the nice list now.
Yes. So make sure that you follow us on Instagram. You follow us on Facebook. Make sure that you subscribe to us on YouTube.
At the Real Play Podcast.
Yes, at the Real Play Podcast. Email us, whatever you need to do to get in contact with us, but make sure that you are we want you to be a part of our family. We want to invite you in as cousins. We love you guys. I remember the first time you said that, I was like, wait, why she say I love you? But when you think about it, like there's a lot of our friends that are listening. We do genuinely love our friends, and we love the support that we even get from strangers. So when I say I love you, I mean it.
You mean it.
Yes, it was definitely awkward the first time. I was like, Ebony, what you mean you
we love them? We're like, wait, why did I say that?
She's like, why did I say that? But we mean it, like, for real. So continue to be blessed, y'all. Continue to stay prayed up. We are not planning on taking another extended break, but life happens. So if you don't hear from us within the next couple of weeks after this one, it's not because of you, it's because of us. But we'll be back. And we're always on Instagram, and we're always on the social media handles that we've already said was at the Real Play Podcast. So if you don't hear our voices, you'll at least see us posting something to keep you guys engaged.
Yes. You can also follow us on our personal pages as well if you want to, but I would prefer you.
You can send me a request.
Mine is open.
My personal page is not open. I don't know about you. I don't know if you can go in and look and see who've recently added you, but I've been getting a lot of people, like all those investor people who are trying to sell Bitcoin, and then and
I do try to block them too. Yeah,
I've got a lot of sugar daddy looking people, randos, like completely random, and that's why I like having that, because I'm just letting all of those requests just sit there, because I'm like, no, I don't know you. Like the first thing I do is I'm like, wait, who are you following that I know, or who's following you that I know? Oh, one person. Oh, you ain't real. No, I ain't got time.
I leave my open. I know there's lurkers, people all on my page who probably don't talk to me, probably don't like me, but still choose to look. It's fine.
Right.
I don't have anything there, and even if I did, you still don't really know my life. So there's that.
True that. So my handles for you, for those that are listening, if you're listening on your phone, I'll give you a second to get to Instagram real quick. All right, that's a second. It is at Raven with 2 N's. So at Raven with Love. All right, that is my personal IG handle. And just go ahead and you can send that request. Just don't look crazy in your profile, because then I'm definitely going to be like, no.
Okay, and then mine is at Ebony, EBONY, D as in David, Johnson, JOHNSON. So almost my whole name.
Yes, got the whole government out there.
Right.
I mean, I got parts of mine, so.
You want to know what mine was before I changed it? I stuck with this name up until maybe a couple of years ago, because it was from college and it was upgrading you. It's still that on Twitter. It was that for a while, and then I was like, that's kind of childish. Let me change it.
It's cute.
Yeah. It's cute. Well, all right, guys. Thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you so much. We hope that you guys have a great holiday, and we will talk to you soon.
All right, bye.